Now, weakness is something that will always reappear constantly throughout your like span on this earth, right? Like no matter what, you will find stuff that is difficult for you to do because like I mean that's basically living, right? But the important thing about weakness is that it shows you what you need to conquer. You're constantly looking for like whenever you're constantly getting shown your weaknesses, you can constantly have things to improve on. It's like, but like a lot of I guess like a lot of times like we unintentionally avoid those like lessons because of I guess like past experiences. We're not able to move past experiences, so whenever we encounter them again, then like it's more so we're experiencing them again and then choosing to fall into the same thought pattern and then choosing to submit to the same weakness. You know what I mean? Like it's very it's like there's a lot of going around. You know, it's like a loop. It's like we see our weakness, we see what it does, and then we see how it reacts, and then like we fall for it, you know. And like I feel like doing it over and over and over again is kind of whack. I don't like that. I don't like but I guess like you kind of have to, you know, because then you have to see what fits. You know, you have to keep continue. You have to keep doing it over and over and over again in different ways. And like whenever I say it, I'm like saying like I'm kind of like broadly like stating it broadly like in whatever activity you're trying to achieve, you have to consistently do, and like that activity or that like certain pathway will show you weaknesses and stuff like that. But the important thing is to like learn from those weaknesses. But like it's also important to not take those like those lessons so personally, you know, because like a lot of people internalize it. I know whenever I was playing sports, I internalized a lot of like lessons because it was like it was kind of like emotional turmoil for me, you know. It was like an embarrassment, you know, like some of the lessons were like kind of embarrassing, you know, like, but I feel like that's natural. That's like natural to feel, and that's and like it can also spiral because of that like natural feeling of embarrassment after you screw up, like that like you can kind of feel like worse because you screwed up. But I feel like that shouldn't be the case. I feel like that should be the area to define your weakness. You know, I think instead of like focusing on the emotional aspects, you should define weaknesses and then rebuild in order to kind of support your weaknesses and then kind of make sure you're and like keep practicing your strengths, you know, kind of have that balance, like that gradual balance, you know what I mean? And like that's important to understand as people, you know, like that gradual balance of weaknesses to strengths is very like it's very it's a skill that's very safe to have. You have to constantly work on these things in order to be like well rounded and adjusted and function. You have to balance like multiple areas of life in order to be where you want to be, and or where you need to be in order to fit in with the social standings of society. You know, like you have to develop these skills, and in order to and on, in order to develop these skills, you need to kind of continue taking steps backwards in order to take more steps forward. You know, you have to have areas of reflection where you're looking back, but you have to look back in a way that's like you have to look back in a way that supports these inhibitors that you're constantly seeing in your life. You know, like if you can't keep seeing you can't keep seeing the same things and like do nothing about them. That's not like that shouldn't be like I feel like at that point like you should ask other people to hold you accountable, you know? That's important because the more other people hold you accountable, the more likely you will do something about your actions. And like that is an important skill to have. That self that like that ability to ask for help, you know? Like cuz you have to ask for help. You have to ask for help in a lot of areas. I feel like it's necessary to ask for help. You have to seek support, you know? Like if you don't, it's then it just makes life harder, you know? It makes a lot of things more difficult than they need to be. And I feel like that's why sometimes the right help is necessary. But I also feel like it's about how much effort you put into yourself and how much energy you put into what you're doing as well. You know, because like you can get help to aid all of these deficiencies that you see in your life, but it's really about your attitude and how you are looking at these deficiencies, because these deficiencies will never define you, right? Like these things that inhibit you will only define you if you allow them to. So if you never allow them to, then you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't. If you never allow them to inhibit you, like you'll never face the consequences. But it's okay if you have, because it happens. I get it. Everybody gets it. It happens, bro. It happens. And it's okay. But you gotta ask for help and learn from it. You gotta be like, damn, I fucked up. What could I do better? Who could I ask for advice on what I could do better? That's what I don't like about today's society, because we it's so weird asking for help over the phone. I can't do that shit. I don't want to text anybody. What do I look like? But I do like talking to people in person. It's better. It's a better form of communication. I feel like it's a better way to show your weaknesses. But it's a better way to ask for help in general, you know? If you're asking for help, a good way to do it is in person. I feel like that way you can get a lot of stuff off your chest, you know? Coming from someone, coming from the punk rock prince on YouTube. What are we at, 9 minutes? I could yap a little bit longer. We're at 12 subscribers. Nice, guys. Holding strong, dude. Love it. I haven't been uploading, but that's changing. It's currently 1:29 a.m. on a Friday night. chilling. Just got homework done and watched Vampire Hunter D. Recommended. What's your guys' favorite wine? Mine's Moscato. Deuces.